Hey everyone, it's John here from RPO Bay Hockey to give you my opening night lineup for the Colorado Avalanche for the 2019-2020 season. So if you are here, of course, please do subscribe, drop a like, do all that good stuff, and comment your thoughts. Obviously, for the Avalanche, they did make a trade that is pretty significant for their roster. They made a couple signings, and they have a couple injuries to start the year, so we're going to talk about that. So let's get right into the forward group. So the forward group for the Avalanche, I see a top line of Tyson Jost, Nate MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen. Obviously, Rantanen still, as I make this video, needs to sign a contract with the Avalanche. He is on RFA. We expect that to be a long-term deal. And obviously, we're waiting for other RFAs to sign before Rantanen does make, I wouldn't say a contract demand. I just think right now, there's obviously silence. There's a lot of silence between the two parties, and Rantanen, say Mitch Marner gets over $10 million, we could be talking about Rantanen getting 8 or 9, which would obviously be a crazy amount for a lot of people who seem to think Rantanen is very overrated, which I tend to disagree in some aspects. I think Rantanen obviously had a very good season, and some of that is due to Nate MacKinnon, but obviously I think a lot of McKinnon's success was also due to Mikko Rantanen. And that second line, Gabriel Landeskog, Nazem Kadri, your newest addition, and another addition that you got from the Capitals, Andre Burakovsky. So I think Burakovsky could find success in the top 6 with the Avalanche. I think where you saw Kadri find his success with the Leafs, 30 goals in a season, shutting down opponents' top lines. I think you could see that in a very good duo between Landeskog and Kadri. Landeskog is very good as well defensively. He can be very physical, and I think Landeskog and Kadri could be a very good duo in shutting other people's lines down, the top lines, and Kadri can put up 20, 25, 30 goals. Third line of Donskoy, Compher, and Wilson. Donskoy, another new addition you got out of free agency. That's a pretty good third line. I really liked what I saw from Compher in this past season, and he's very versatile, can play all 3 positions, and he will start, in my opinion, in the third line center role. And then Calvert, Belmar, and Nieto. Belmar, former Golden Knight, you signed him out of free agency as well. Calvert was very good as well last year, and we saw Nieto in a top 6, top 9 role at sometimes. So I think that's a very good fourth line for the Avalanche. And I think for the Avalanche moving forward, if you're just looking at their forward group, you got to be really excited. And if Tyson Jost can find some success with Nate MacKinnon and Rantanen, then the Avalanche are going to be very scary for years to come. Let's look at the defense group. So Samuel Girard, who just signed a recent extension with Connor Timmins. So I think with Timmins, it's an interesting one because he'd be jumping right into a top pairing role because of the injuries. And you see it right below. Erik Johnson and Ian Cole will start the season injured. Erik Johnson will probably come back before Ian Cole. Ian Cole will definitely not come back until December is what they're saying. So top line, Girard and Timmins. I think we're maybe in this prediction focusing more on the lefty-righty situation, and then that would be Zadorov with Cale Makar. I think we saw Girard and Makar together, but maybe to start the season because of the lack of veterans in this defense group, because of Erik Johnson and Ian Cole being injured, maybe you just balance it out. Zadorov with Makar could be a very good pairing. And then Calle Rosen, who you got from the Leafs in the Tyson Barrie trade. So obviously that's what I was talking about. The Avs obviously traded Barrie, and when you talk about getting Kadri, obviously I think he is an improvement over a guy like Alex Kerfoot, but I think Tyson Barrie is probably the biggest loss for the Avalanche, and guys like Girard, Makar, and Timmins are going to have to fill that role at least to start the season, and then when Ian Cole and Johnson come back, then it'll help things out. So Rosen with Barberio in that last pair, and I think Barberio at this point is just more of a depth defenseman, and he'll be out of the lineup once those two guys come back. And then Grubauer and Francouz. Francouz, who just signed to a 1-year deal. And then Grubauer, you're hoping for consistency from him throughout the full year. And Francouz will probably get 20, 25 games if he does find success on the NHL level. So, obviously, I like what the Avalanche are doing. I think they have a very good opportunity here to make the playoffs again. And I think maybe some people are a little ahead on the Avalanche. I know some people are thinking Avalanche are going to be Central Division winners for years to come, and maybe that happens, but I just look at them maybe as a division spot or at least a wild card going into this next season. So thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on my line of prediction. Definitely subscribe, drop a like. This was John from RPO Bay Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.